The following video is a request for comment, request for information, RFI, RFC, concerning the video game Rust Legacy, which was distributed through Steam from Christmas time 2013 to Christmas time 2016 and developed by Facepunch. But we're discussing a version that happened later. A little bit of backstory really quick. After a particular point when Facepunch was kind of abandoning it, they made it to where on Steam you could download the current and in some cases all versions of Rust Legacy the game and the server without needing to authenticate. You could do it as an anonymous person and download the files. To make them work, you had two options. One, pay for it, obviously, and number two, well, you could alter it to where it didn't require Steam. This meant you lost the ability to use Steam to filter out cheaters, and also you couldn't go on Steam encumbered servers. When they stopped making it available, all servers were unencumbered by Steam, so you had to then alter it. And this was done by replacing a set of DLL files for Steam with dummy files, and the game would work. That's an oversimplification. During the entire time this game has existed, people have figured out ways to non-destructively and within terms of service alter the game to do things like reskinning things, make it more visually interesting, and in some cases seemingly cheating by making it easier to see things, or harder, or giving it a new mood, or, I don't know, adding fog and howling dogs. It doesn't matter. But the point is, this has been modified repeatedly, and every one of these projects, this is the crux of the video, has a problem. A lot of them have a lot of blood, sweat, and tears and a lot of effort by people, or they just steal that effort and reuse a creative person's work. The problem is that some of us value the creative person's work more than the creative person because the creative person will, in frustration or just because they don't care anymore, destroy all the data so we don't have anything to work with. Yes, that is foreshadowing. Our story today starts in 2024 and goes till 2026, the current year. Facebook group, long string of numbers, titled as, this is the English translation, Rust Youth Club and Others, Cuba, or variations of it, depending on how you organize it. Otherwise known as Rust Legacy Joven Club, Cuba. Now, if you're not aware of it, Cuba was, and still is, heavily restricted in many ways. Not just because they're under attack by pretty much every country, as financial stuff and that sort of thing, but also because the country itself is run as a dictatorship and or a totalitarian society. And within it, simply doing something as rebellious as playing a video game can get you in a huge amount of trouble or shot. I understand that in the background context. Let's move forward. This Rust Cuba or Joven Club version project on a Facebook group. Let's talk about it. September 16th, 2024, was a link to a new Rust Legacy server tutorial video, and that was hosted on a YouTuber named Survivor Cuban, and that had a link in the description to the Last Frontier, spelled in an interesting way, online forum, post number 31 or something like that. The link will be below in the description. It's subject to your interpretation. And it was called Steps to Access Rust Legacy Cuba. Now, this could have been something about dealing with a server, dealing with a client, which is the thing normally downloaded, or both, or neither. None of that's available because the link at the forum is gone. The forum itself is gone. The video is gone, but I was able to dig up enough of it to just at least get that. Moving forward over a year, October 13th of 2025, Marcos Daniel Cardoso asked, please write to me and let me know, does anyone know of an arcade in Havana, Cuba, where I can play Rust? Now, this might have been not arcade, but it could have been internet cafe or any other variation of it you might think of, depending on where you live and what you normally call them. Or it could have been an actual arcade. And the next one, I'm getting to why this is these random comments are here. 2025, December 14th, Anthony Garcia posted, Cuban Rust server. Want to play Rust without any hassle? It doesn't say Rust Legacy, it just says Rust. Just like the previous comment did. Join Cuban Rust, an active server where you don't need anything special to get in. Free game will help you download. Mostly Cuban community server. Always on 24/7, 40 players or more online almost all the time. Ideal for PvP, clans, and real survival. Cuban Rust is waiting for you. And then this is the punchline or the punch in the gut. To join the server or download the game for free, message me privately. You don't need anything special to get in, except contact me. It's a user on this Facebook group. Now we're going to get to the current year. February 19th, 2026. YouTuber Rust Legacy Dev says, hey guys, I want to show you a trailer of the Rust Legacy that is played in Cuba as Rust Legacy Joven Club trailer official, and I think there's some misspellings either on my part or theirs, doesn't matter. Now that's all the data I was able to find. Now that amounts to 4 posts on Facebook, and a Facebook group that, of course, Facebook goes out of its way to antagonize me about seeing more than once in a 24-hour period of time. And you can also see 2 videos below and 2 video channels. One of the videos isn't visible because it isn't, because it was deleted. And I'll be getting to the rant about that in a minute. You can also go google.com and you can do a search with site:/youtube.com/JovenClub. It's always done as one word, Rust Legacy and then Cuba, or just Rust Cuba. And also you can look up the dead link, and there's an archive of it, or was an attempt at one. The Last Frontier, again spelled differently, online, Foro for forum, index.php, threads, and then the explanation on how to, again, as it said, download and access Rust Legacy Cuba. Now, there's going to be a partial rant here, and I'm going to go off on the rails, but here again, I'm repeating it. If you have a real confirmable clickable link, or you have one that did work and you can't make it work anymore, that would provide either a download of the server, I'm dreaming here, the client, which should be the bare minimum, or even more information. It's okay if it's in a different language. If you can provide the link below, use the link design I use below the way I do it. For instance, on the Facebook one, it's facebook.com, blah, 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 it has slashes. In order to post it as a comment under YouTube, you would do Facebook, period, space, com/space, groups/space, and then a string of numbers and a slash. You would chop it up a bit so it looks like a sentence structure or an equation. And that's enough to get around the filters that keep trying to desperately turn it into a link. See also, you'd have to do this, if you find one of these things, in a program that isn't smart. Yes, we're going to do that. No AI, no smarts, no algorithm, nothing. You have to make your computer back the fuck off and let you type. That means you're going to have to use a notepad, an old version of it, because the new version will HTMLify or URLify or help you, which means it will interfere continually because the programming, if you're not aware of it, on, let's say, Word, Microsoft Word, or any program that's that you actually spent money on or is run by a very large corporation, is going to actively try to help you and interfere with you and I being able to communicate in a way that has broken up URLs or anything I've done below in the description, because it's trying to keep us from communicating. Okay, this is the first part of large corporation be bad that you need to absorb and actually stomach. That includes Linux. Some versions of Linux will have a text editor that actively won't shut up and let you type. It keeps wanting to help, it keeps wanting to predict things. Now I want to point out that Google Search recently removed the ability to search for things within a time range. And then YouTube allows me to look within a time range, if I'm very specific about it, properly typing everything, not even one mistake. I can look up videos from a particular period of time. So I'm taking advantage of that right now because I can. But yeah, tools that make it to where you and I can find things are being turned off. And if they were there, they're interfered with it by acting like there's an error, like YouTube recently saying can't load video, when really all it is you have a browser extension that's turning off their ability to shove ads in your face. That's what it was. They're lying. They're playing dumb. Now I'm going to bring up projects. A while ago I did a set of videos about the Foro project. This is a project where people sat down and created add-ons and plugins so that they could extend the limitations of this video game. Just like any other video game like Doom, the way it's built by the authors is nice, but being able to expand it after that is the reason we're still playing Doom how many decades later? You know, it's just Doom. It's not, I mean, it might be using a new Doom engine, but it actually is just Doom. It's just the goddamn game. It really is. I'm not joking. We still play. AAA games aren't as good as the old games because the old games that we keep messing with like this, and even Rust, didn't succeed in stopping us from meddling with them. Okay? So someone does a big project like that. Let's say they build something that adds in skins and textures and modifies the game to look different. Okay, that is actually something I'm going to do a video tutorial on. Yes, I'm going to tell you how to do that instead of just doing it and then demanding you give me Robux or go to my damn Discord or Facebook group where we can have a private convo and I can make you PM me. No, I'm going to give it away and make it really easy to archive and put it on wherever I have to. I have a website I can edit. I can put up text files there and then archive them and then erase them afterwards. It's a permanent file because it's stored on archive.org or Archive Today. I might put it on an imager, put it there, and it'll be stored there, and I'll archive it just because I'm paranoid. Because, again, did I tell you about the big bad company just fucking with us? Yeah, those AAA game people don't want you playing Rust Legacy or any other old game, because it cuts to their profits. So now we get these people who put their blood, sweat, and tears into making these edits, and these game edits happened decades ago. But 2024, someone put something together, or is it 2026 according to the video, and it has all these edits, and it's really cool looking, and it's gone. Never hosted it somewhere like Mega Upload or just anywhere? Nowhere? I know it's Mega NZ, but that's not the point. The point I'm making here is I value your hard work, or sometimes you just taking someone else's hard work and extending it. That's cool too. I value it more than you do because out of literally 100 projects I've looked into, only 4 or 5 of them, Foro being the most obvious one, even though the website did make it a pain in the ass for a while, a long while, for me to be able to go there and just claw all the data back out of them so they can't lose it by having some stupid inevitable accident that results in the destruction of all the data. Dratax, you all are awesome there, but still, make failure impossible if you can do so, please. But no, these groups of people take all this stuff, they pull all this stuff together. It's really awesome. They don't tell you how they did an edit. I have a video telling you how to edit the size of the little cursor if you're playing the game and you bring up the auto map by hitting the letter M. It changes the dot size. You just edit it. I give full instructions on how to do it. I give links. I give information and examples because I can convert them into text in the description. And then I archive the dog shit out of this. Why? Because I know that someone else is going to need to solve the problem later. And unlike a lot of creatives, I don't believe that my solution should be the last one you see. Everybody's stuck in about a 14-month cycle where they spend a little over a year working on the project of modifying and extending Rust Legacy, get to about the same point, and then give up. Instead of just giving us all of your progress and letting us extend it further. The version we're looking at here is actually almost identical to the copy that's on Rust Chrome and what was Rust Relic. That project died, according to a couple of people, because I critiqued them for them making basic mistakes. Apparently that was what broke the camel's back. And none of the projects that have extended this way, adding in new features, new monuments, have ever documented how they do it. I see YouTube channels, a lot of them, really good ones, who don't tell you how they did it. Are they being greedy about the creative work? Are they afraid someone's going to steal it? Because if you don't let someone steal your hard-earned work, it dies. Just a small rant at the end. If you have any information on this, please post it below, and have a good day. Good luck with that. You'll need it.